So the prisoners were pretty much on their own. They would bring them meals, lock up, go home, come back the next day. So there was no regulation of how prisoners were cared for. This is when you came to the jail. This is where the booking and everything was done before you went upstairs to your cell. In 1966, I think the state stepped in and said, you can't run a jail that way. So back in here, where we're gonna walk, is the living quarters for the, you know, the police and sheriff and all that would, they have some rooms, they had a couch, they could lock the doors either way so the prisoners were stuck upstairs. And I'm pretty sure they still left at night, leaving the prisoners by themselves. But like I said, from 1926, 28 till 66, when the living quarters, they were pretty much on their own. So they didn't have the best conditions to live in.
Oh, look at that. Gross. I was looking at
yes, spider web.
You
got spider webs all over your back.
gotta wait for that thing.
I was trying to see that.
Do I?
A little bit.
Why don't we go upstairs? I get a dull one up there too.
You wouldn't do it? Really?
This is one of the cells. You want to not hold that next to your, and whoever else has the other little device, it'll react to cell phones.
Yeah.
It just tells you the temperature.
And when it tells you the temperature, and you'll notice that will start fluctuating. His lights will light up. This was another cell. I think they get Frank and there's two men's names that are always mentioned in this. I don't know if they were prisoners that passed away, but if you turn off, everybody try and turn off your light for a minute. It gets kind of dark, so when the stairway light isn't on and you're, you know, in here doing an investigation, you can turn your light back on. We set up cameras, probably like 6 whenever we do ours. Bring little trigger objects, maybe cigarettes or whatever, the food that prisoners might like to trade for whatever. They get a lot of activity in this room. Earlier they were all going off, but it doesn't look like. The little girls had the things when they were going crazy in my last tour. And that thing was going up to 76. I was like, I don't think I've ever seen it go that before. Yeah.
It was going up to 74.
No. That's the degrees.
Yeah,
I'm talking about where you're at 0.
Yeah.
That's what the number will be. Let's see if we can go on this side where these cells are. Here's another cell that probably housed 2 people.
I thought that was
Yeah, the bigger cells are in the back, but it looks like a group came up stairs now in the back area. Yeah, the plumbing doesn't work anymore in here, but this is, do what?
There were 2 prisoners in here.
Yeah, just, you'll see in the back, they had the hooks that were there, it had a top bunk and a bottom bunk. There's bunks in the other cells, but they're very rusty, so they just ask people, you know, step on it. The back cells are the better cells, because everybody can fit in.
I felt like it was like
be another one that was attached down there. So you can imagine how cramped quarters were for people. They also nicknamed this Sam Cell. Pretty sure Sam was the sheriff that was killed, not here. He was killed and the prisoner was brought here. Later he was executed in Star 3 or 4, wherever they do it. So they always, this room is always someone named Sam. They always hear the name Sam, 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 Sam. So they've nicknamed it Sam's room. Like the other cells, you can feel someone touching on you, pulling at your shirt, but nothing, you know, mean or asking you to get out. But they have caught lots of BBPs, and they did the little flashlight test, you know, I don't know if anybody's ever seen it on any of the shows. Yeah, and it would turn on and off, because I was like, I'm always skeptical of that myself, but I sat there and watched it, and I'm like, well, no one's manipulating that flashlight, and it would turn, you know, and answer her questions, so I was like, okay. Are they still that way? Can you see?
Not in the next one, but down the hall.
Okay, well, we can go to the next.
Ann Williams lives in Bottom Cruise. No. Alright. What election are they down there, dude? Look at that.
Obviously, people break in. There's a little ditty behind you. Is this the one that says no? I thought it was. Maybe it's the others, so. Yeah, it's right there. You can see it better. Go to Hell's Written, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right here. Right here, I can see
But
it.
this is another typical set where it's slacking the top bunk. The one cell that we're gonna go into, the larger cell, I don't know if it was downstairs or upstairs, could hold as much as 12 to 18 people, which I don't know how they fit that many people in one cell for the life of me. I'm like, I couldn't imagine. Because see, I mean, look how many people we have, and we're a little claustrophobic, so it's like, yeah. The conditions weren't great. Yeah, but yeah.
No
It's hard to get a lot of activity because there's so many people running in and out of here. Are they still over there? Yes.
So how many people were in this room?
Well, there was 2 bunks, so there could be as much as 4 or more. I mean, that, like I said, it wasn't regulated by the state, so when they built the living quarters in '66, it only stayed open 2 more years, '68, then they built the other jail. So the whole time it was operational, only 2 years did they have the living quarters where people actually stayed with the prisoners, so. Someone's ringing. He must have his well, let's see. Well, I'm pretty sure that's the one that used to be the deputy for the area. Oh. Yep.
So what does that mean?
Means that if you don't have your cell phone right there,
No.
could be something around you. It'll react to electricity. It reacts to your. If you hold that in there, you might see your numbers go up.
Actually, it's going down.
No. That's the temperature. The temperature might be going down.
Okay.
Yep, there you go.
Oh, gosh.
That's what fluctuates, like her
I
life.
just got butterflies.
Well, I'll wait till we're downstairs.
Oh, I got a video of this.
Mm-hmm. Are they on phone?
Oh, God, yo, it's going up.
Is it?
It was at 4.3.
Yep, it'll do it. I think
And
we
it
got-
was right behind you.
We got some good hits in here before.
Hey, who's back here in this area? Is it Greg or?
I don't know who's there. I'm
Okay,
waiting
so
to get in there.
who's back in that area?
Room 6.
Patrick. So Patrick's there.
Julie.
Julie, be high in him.
8.0.
Alright, Julie and Patrick, just to kind of let you guys know, there's a lot of people outside, so
It's
they're
you.
going to move.
I can't get in. Reed's already in.
Oh
All right,
gosh,
I'm letting them go.
it went up to 12 feet.
Oh yeah, it went up higher than that downstairs.
I just got on.
Yeah, there's a lot of
My batteries all died. I'm running out of batteries again. Oh, yeah, look at that. Come on. Number 6.
Battery died. It's a ghost hunter who said his battery died. Are you okay, Jim? It's fine. Yeah.
You might want to get your devices out for this room. Yeah, I would hold it out in the middle of the room. Is everybody in? No? This is a room, that tends to have a lot of stuff. With smaller groups, if you turn your lights off and it's pitch black in here, you can kind of see shadows moving when no one's moving. Yeah. Earlier, someone felt them, when he was setting up, like someone was out, asking him to leave, making him grab him by the elbow and was, pushing him along. But yeah, when those smaller groups are in here, that's when they get all the, if you notice, there's some pennies up here. They put them there for a reason. There was a group here last,
What's the ball?
I don't know. There was a group here last Saturday of girls that wanted to investigate. And, they were, I think when they were downstairs, they asked if you're here making noise, and they heard a big noise, and like a shelf had fallen or something. And then one of them got a penny thrown at him upstairs, but it was not this room. It was a penny from this shelf, so.
Yeah, one of my friends was one of the ones out here. She said that there was one room that she went in and like she felt sick when she went in there.
Yeah, well, they screamed when the penny got thrown at them and they left. They were scheduled to go from 8 to 4, I wanna say, and 10:30 they were gone. So, everybody feels something different. A lot of people don't. Some people are very sensitive to things, and they will not walk through the door to come in this room. Yeah, they just won't. Okay, we can go downstairs. Hopefully
Here,
they're
we'll
out.
follow you.
You want to be the last one out?
Yeah.
Oh. There was one cell. I don't know if it was this one or downstairs. I didn't want to be the last one out.
Like I felt like something on my chest.
So I'm gonna go have you guys pile
What's
on
in
here.
there?
Come on.
That here?
This room.
That was Sam's
Oh,
cell.
yeah.
Yeah, we were in there. Yeah.
I'm all turned.
These stairs are steep.
I know. That's why we asked that you hold on.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I have bad knees, so I have to come down sideways. Otherwise, I have to pull my knee.
That's okay. I'm gonna have to turn.
So please hold on then.
I didn't know all those were flashlights.
Well, let's go here while we're here. Okay. This is the living quarters that we built. This was added on in 1966. Come further in. Who else has the other? Okay. This is where you'll.
Oh shoot! It was 27.
Yeah, this is where you'll get some activity. I think around 2007, 2008, Willie
Right
James
here.
something.
It was
He's known as Black, was a drug dealer in the area. It's when I started talking about him is when the things started going crazy. I'm not sure what led up to it, but they think it was a male and a female broke in. They shot him over there twice in the chest, left him there, came back 2 days later, he was still alive. So they shot him 2 more times with a 12 gauge, and once the police station closed, they dumped him out like a mile from here. So the police went to, I'm pretty sure Arlene, to try and come in here and look for evidence because they caught one person, but no one was really talking about it. Now, coincidentally, there's a house right out there, and no one heard the shots, or no one's talking.
Was that the guy they found down top of Red
Yes,
Road?
that's the road.
Yeah.
Yep.
Willie, what's his name?
Willie James
Yeah.
Redding. He's known as Black.
Yeah.
That was his name. The roof's caving in the blue room, but this was another room, part of the living room.
What is it?
Mama. All I had to do was start talking about Black, and those machines went crazy. She freaked out because it went to 12. It was up to 70 something, which I've never seen it do that before. I'm like, are you sure? And she showed me. I'm like, yeah, I guess you're right. So he's pretty active. Like the ladies that get touched, he seems to like the ladies. So it's just him. What happened? Oh, a spider. Yep, I finally see one. Yep. Watch out if you don't like spiders. But yeah, this is the newest part of the jail, the living quarters that were built on. So it's about, what, 51 years old. We can go back out here. This seems to be the hot spot. I think they did use luminol in the area to try and light it up, but
This microphone kind of line up right in here.
Oh, look at the light. It's blinking.
Don't leave.
We were in there.
somewhere.
Blinking back there. The flashlight was blinking back there. We came around the corner and it started flashing.
Yeah.
And
I tell you, pretty sure it's that. Did we lose anybody?
got Molly the mannequin.
This is another set. Well, interesting story. One of the girls that works with a group here at the jail, I think she said she works with a company and they do the foreclosures. And there was a home that man liked to dress like a woman. And they knew he was, because the shoes, the women's shoes that were very large. Well, he killed himself. When they went in, this is one of the mannequins that was in his place. So people said they got weird vibes from the mannequin. I don't know. I just think she has weird eyes when you look back there. I'm like, they freak me out. Yeah, people get weird vibes from her. I don't feel anything from her. So.
Oh, I see what you're talking about right there now.
Yeah. But yeah. And next door, the little cell next door.
We're put on. We got people.
I think we did that little cell because that was the one that I said we could get locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's not go back
Yeah,
there.
that's it. So this is the last cell. They got a bunch of stuff. I don't know. There was something written. The guy was reading it. It's all the same thing. Hot rod something. I don't know. It goes on and it's the same thing over and over. But people break in. Oh, that's a nice light.
Yeah, it was blinking.
No one likes when they blink.
Till my sensor was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, the most active place, it's just a man, was back there. Those little girls were getting hit left and right. I was like, my God. I've never seen it go that high. Are we done? All right, we're going this way. We saw that. We came in that way. We went in Sam's cell. This This was a cell, but now it's a storage facility, but there was another cell. You can see none of them are very big.
I was just trying to
I don't know,
see.
storage, I'm hoping.
The end.